Now that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are officially on Global, it is time to take a look at their best possible teams, best possible rotations, and honestly, just the best way to use them to maximize their potential in-game. And there is a lot to talk about in this video, so I want to get the subscriber challenge out of the way really quickly. And as we all know, 1 plus 2 equals 3. So if you pulled Gamma 1 or Gamma 2 or both of them in your first 3 multis, you got caught lacking today. You got to subscribe to the channel. I don't make the rules, and I want you to understand that you stole the luck from another Dokkan player. I don't really think that's nice. So shout out to you for your luck, but you got caught lacking today, and you got to subscribe to the channel. But that wasn't you. If you didn't pull either of them in your first 3 multis, you can skip today's subscriber challenge. I will try to catch you lacking in the next one. Stay tuned for that. Let's hop into this video. So when it comes to, these team building videos or best team videos, especially with the Gammas, you're going to need a very specific set of units. These videos are not really, free to play friendly unless you got really lucky as a free to play player, of course. And again, it's just because team building around these units it's very limited, and you can tell as soon as you read how many categories they're buffering from their leader skill. You can tell they're trying to get as many units on that leader skill as possible to give you as many options as possible, because again, it is super limited, and you're going to see exactly what I mean in a second, which again just proves my point of me saying that even though these units are very, very, very powerful, one thing is having a good unit, and the more important thing is having a good, strong team to bring that unit to life, if that makes sense. So there's going to be 2 sides to this video, because if you want to maximize them to their full power, you're going to want to run them as your leader, because they are their only 200% lead. So right now we have, again, Gamma 2 or Gamma 1. If you have Gamma 2, actually, if you have both, you want to run Gamma 2 as your lead, because Gamma 2 is just, reaching out to more units in the game for a leader skill. But if you only have Gamma 1, he's still going perfectly fine for the purpose of this video. But these are the units that you're working with, mostly, okay? Dude, 3 rows down, and we're already at free-to-play burger. Like, this is not a good team at all. Same thing with the worthy rivals aspect of their 30%. Again, we're just focusing for the first part of this video, just focusing on their own 200% lead. So if you have, again, Gamma 1 or Gamma 2, I would recommend for the first main rotation to run both of them. They are literally built to be run together. They are their best friends. Gamma 1 is the slot 1 unit, and Gamma 2 is the slot 2 unit. That's how they're built. That is how you should 100% run them for that first main rotation. And honestly, let's just say you only really just have Gamma 2. Like, the issue you can clearly see is who the heck are you linking Gamma 2 up with if it's not Gamma 1? Which brings me to another point of this entire video, is like, or just summoning in total. It's like, summoning is cool, but this banner, you want both of the new units, which is going to probably take you more stones than usual to actually pull them. So it's just a very, very dangerous game you're playing, because if you only pull one, the linking buddies are not looking that great, to be completely honest with you. When it comes to Gamma 1, you can run him with the AGL Pycon. AGL Pycon can support if given a certain amount of orbs, and he can also share Cold Judgment, giving a really good defensive boost to a unit who doesn't really need it. So this is a really good rotation, honestly, if you have no other options for Gamma 1. But as a first main rotation, I would say both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 if you can make it. If you only have Gamma 2, run him as your lead, but as for like a friend option, you might honestly just have to rotate him off, like put him in the 3rd slot, because it's like it's just tough. Like, if I say link him with any other unit here, you're going to have a very weak rotation, unfortunately. So yeah, another main rotation I would recommend is going to be either of the cells. So LR in cell linked up with AGL cell here. I know AGL cell does not look that great in terms of linking buddies, but if I pull up AGL cell's final form here, and then click on LR in cell down here, you will see that they share now 5 links instead of 3, one of them obviously being the really big bad boss's link. So this is going to be a definite strong rotation you can run for this team, and they work on both Gamma 1 and Gamma Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's leader skill. So this is a rotation I 100% recommend if, of course, you can build it. Another main rotation I would recommend is God Goku next to LR Burku, a very strong offensive and defensive rotation here. I don't think you can really go wrong, and yes, they both are a part of you know, the leader skill that they are giving here for both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Now, Goku specifically, the Burku here, actually, no, they're both on accelerated battle. Never mind. Yeah, so you're good here. You're definitely fine with this rotation. And like I mentioned before, if you do have just Gamma 1, then linking them up with Pikkon could also be just a great option overall. These are, I would say, the best 4 main rotations you can make for this team if you're trying to run these two as your leader, okay? Or one or the other as your leader. Again, if you have Gamma 2 and Gamma 1, you run Gamma 2 as your lead. Gamma 2 is going to be, again, just a better option if you're just trying to team build overall. So again, these are the best rotations that you can run. Now, when it comes to your floating units, when it comes to the units that are coming in and out of every single rotation, the first one I'd recommend is Gamma 1. So again, Gamma 2 as your lead and Gamma 1 as the friend lead. Gamma 1 here, when it comes to this team specifically, he's still buffing everyone, but also he's going to be an amazing third slot option. When it comes to third slot units, you need really good defensive options, because one thing is, imagine having a really OP turn and then just getting killed in that third slot. You don't really want that, and Gamma 1 really prevents that with this 50% damage reduction and just everything else he's doing, plus his support. Giving our allies key and defense to this rotation, even this rotation, is just honestly very, very strong. So you can't go wrong with Gamma 1 floating as a friend lead. Another great option I would say is STR Piccolo. Now, STR Piccolo, there's just 2 options or 2 issues with him. If you're running this rotation specifically, STR Piccolo will not only give those, he won't give this rotation support because he supports only superclass allies, but also STR Piccolo will be slightly weakened because STR Piccolo gets damage reduction when there's movie hero category allies on the team, so on the turn. So it'll work for this rotation as well as this rotation, but not for this rotation. It will also work for this rotation, by the way. So STR Piccolo, if you want him to be as good as he can be defensively, you're going to want to probably skip out on the Cell rotation, or if it doesn't really bother you too much, then you can still use him because he's going to be a great third slot option as well, especially since he's guarding and supporting and all that good stuff. So yeah. Then we have AGO Pikkon. If you're not running this rotation right here, then AGO Pikkon can still be a really good slot 3 option. His high chance of dodge is, of course, very, very good. Honestly, having him on the team, period, is also a great option because of his, his active skill, which can act like a Ghost Usher for 1 turn. You do have his ability to support as well. And I found it's pretty easy, honestly, to get the support ability off, especially if you have this rotation right here, where this Tech God Goku can create rainbow orbs. I think just making it overall easier to collect orbs as the third slot option here. So I think, again, AGO Pikkon is a great option to run as a floating unit. And then, of course, I do have this physical Android 17 build up here. The units are slightly getting worse as we go along, but again, I told you, it's like there's not really that many great options. Android 17 here is giving the entire rotation, everyone, 3 key and 60% to defense. So imagine giving 60% to defense to a unit who's having 600k defense and 50% damage. They just don't need it. This rotation can definitely use it, and this rotation, of course, is you really just can't go wrong. Now, again, this unit is not really that great. They 100% need a an easy 8.5, to be honest with you. Now, when you're below a certain amount of HP, they could look fairly good, but he's gonna get clapped in difficult content, unfortunately. So I just wouldn't really recommend using this guy. But if you have no other option, then you do what you gotta do, right? And then the last option I have pulled up here is the Androids unit. Now, they are even more limited because, not really too much, because remember, you do have this rotation if you can pull it off, because the Androids unit here, not only are they nullifying, but they're supporting Android. So this rotation will be supported, as well as this rotation will be supported. This rotation will not be, and this rotation will be, but only for Gamma 1. But again, it's still an option if you can run it, right? If it's possible for you, I'd honestly just recommend it. Another great option I completely just forgot about, which you can probably use too, now that I think about it, is the second form Cell. If I can find him. Where is he? Where is second form cell? Right here, cool. So this guy, this is where the limitation really kicks in, because he's supporting Android / Cell Saga specifically. So he's not giving a buff to this rotation or this rotation or this rotation, simply just this rotation right here. But again, I am just trying to give you as many options as possible, and that's of course if you want to run Gammas as your primary lead. Now keep in mind that both of the Gammas are leading movie heroes, so you can just say honestly F the rest of their leader skill and just run a full movie heroes team, which can definitely give you a really powerful overall team. But then just keep in mind that you're sacrificing the extra stats that the Gammas can provide. Let me actually take a look at their leader skill really quickly. Hold on. What is their... Oh, yeah, pure Saiyans. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Gammas don't have another 200% lead besides the one that they give to each other, right? So if you want to run their extra... If you want to get the extra 60%, 30 from each leader, and make them look as good as possible, these are the units you're going to want to run as your leaders. But if not, you can sacrifice that extra stats for just stronger overall units. So you can bring, you know, the gods, the AGLGV. You can bring STR Piccolo here. Again, many of the same units. God Goku, Bird Cube, stuff like that. Maybe even the fusions as well. You have better options overall on this team, but again, you're sacrificing how good Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are going to look overall. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if I missed out on anything. Again, as you take a look at this category and let me know what other great option do you really have here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he needs an EZA, and until then he's just garbage, obviously. I mean, who else? It's like I can't really think of a really good rotation. I mean, you're not really going to be trusting Vegeta here. Yamcha isn't even on global yet. Maybe orb changing Vegeta and orb changing Goku, I guess, as a rotation, but it's like, I don't really know, man. These units are not even out on this guy's not even out on global yet, so it is what it is there. You're not running Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku. He's just not it right now. He needs an EZA desperately. And you're not running any of the God Gokus. You're not running any of these units. So I think I definitely highlighted the best possible options for this team, or just run a full movie heroes team with the Gammas as your lead, and again, you should be good to go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Please remember that you need the rest. There's a lot of hype coming for the rest of the year. If you don't have a good team to build these units on, do not summon. It's just not worth it. One thing again is having the best unit in the game, and it's a completely different thing to have a good team to build that or to put that unit on, because no matter how good your unit is, if you don't have a good team, your team is going to look like they absolutely suck, and you're not going to be able to really enjoy the fruits or I guess the OP or the power that specific unit can bring you. So again, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.